Hello everybody and welcome to round 3 of the LOE F2 season, season 1. We're at Spain today for 2 races and we're back to the original format that we used at Bahrain of a 30-minute qualifying session, a 50% feature race and a 25% sprint race as it allows. It's just it's a lot smoother to run. Then the format we tried last week, which we had to set up new lobby after the first race, and yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, until the Codemasters add a few things, we're gonna have to stick with this format, which isn't the worst. It does give drivers a lot of practice. These 30-minute sessions, even if they are long, it does give them time on the tyres, on the track, in the conditions they're probably going to do in the race. So it's no problem. 9 drivers today. We might get a few more joining, maybe for the race. Well, a couple of the races. So I'll run you through. Basically, I'll go in championship order. Who's here? Who's not here? B Morgan, the championship leader, is here today. Second place, Dakar, is not here. Unfortunately, school and stuff takes priority, which is very sensible, but not here. He was only 6 points behind, and that gap will probably extend today. B Morgan on provisional pole as it stands. We have Chepelele, who won the feature race last week, has retired from the league because of other commitments. Fourth place V5 isn't here right now. Might make it for one of the races today, maybe 2. We're not entirely sure yet. James is here, racing at home. Isn't here today. He's not feeling very well. Dan is here. Then there's me. Obviously, I retired from the league. We have Ghost is here today. Velocity, who isn't here today. And I do need to Velocity. Please just talk to me about some things. Ibo is here. Cloudy Cloud has dropped to a reserve and isn't racing today because he can't make the time. Robert isn't racing today. Don't know why. Tiggerby is. Zoom isn't racing today. But he did let me know. Sarja, another one like V5, might make it, might not. We're not too sure. Big W has retired from the league. LFC might make it. We're hoping that he'll make it, but he's stuck in traffic, so that might be a problem. Then we have one of the new boys, one of the 2 new boys for this race. An old face in, if you remember. Can I get away with saying it? I'm going to say it anyway, I don't care. If you remember before LOE to the league that was PRL, kind of a legend of that league, if you can say that. Someone that was aware for quite a while in Div 1, helped out. I think might have been an organiser at one point as well. I think back in LOE and driving the F2, and then the other new driver we have to do. Actually, we had 3 new drivers. We have Killer Blue, who is in the Prema. We also have someone in the Charouse, Ryan B, his first race. But as you can see from qualifying for facing the wrong way, I don't know where he'd spun, but obviously he couldn't get back on the track, and unfortunately disqualified, which to me seems a bit harsh, but who knows. The other new driver is a reserve and will make it probably whenever possible. Mark has joined us in the F2 league, and he has it's taken a while actually. I thought he was joined last week, but he's joined this week, and he as a reserve has taken the seat of Dakar for this race. So Carlin do have a driver at least for this race. That is pretty much everyone. Yeah, as we're saying, we could get 3 more for we could have 12 drivers for one of the races. We don't know. We're still waiting on LFC, Sarja, and V5 to see if they can get home in time. But who knows at this point. Hoping they do. if they don't. It's not the end of the world. This league, even though it is competitive, it's the first season, and I just want a lot of these guys to just come in, try the F2 cars, have a lot of fun along the way, and that's the aim of it, isn't it? Although I would like them to be committed, it's Monday night's a difficult one. Monday night is a difficult one, and today's actually probably even worse because it's a bank holiday in the UK. So people will actually go out with their families today. So, I mean, next week is the start of the school year in the UK. I know that. I don't know about other countries, so it might get harder for some. In England and Wales, it's the start of the year, and Scotland's already started. So, I would join, but this is the only day when I'm not at football. Wait, what? Oh, big crash. That is Mark. Oh, is that? That was turn 9. He's just gone round at the top of turn 9. It's a wow. Okay, quite a big crash. I was not expecting that. As B Morgan goes to did B Morgan just go to the top? Did I see that? Did he improve his time? No. James just overtook Mark. Okay, I wasn't really looking properly. He overtook him and then went straight back in the pits. That's a weird one. This is the kind of point in the session where people will start to look towards the softs, as only Ghost has gone on the has actually set a lap on the softs so far. I think this is Ibo. Ibo is instantly backed off his lap, so I don't know what's going on. That is Mark going down the straight in 6th gear with no front wing. Don't know what he's doing. If he's gonna try and go around to the pits, or is he practicing driving without a front wing? It'd be interesting to see if he is doing that, because he's understeering everywhere. Wow. All right, who do we have? We have, I think that was Ghost. No, that was Killer Blue getting out of the way of Dan, who is on a hot lap on the medium tyres. Oh, Mark missed the pit lane. That is not something you do every day, especially at Spain. It's quite obvious. Wow. Okay. What a Mark. Okay. So, eight runners. Killer not yet to set a representative time. He set a time, but obviously, surely he can go a lot quicker than a 42.8. It's 12 seconds off the pole time right now. So, with 8 minutes left of the session, this is where it starts to get interesting. They've had 22 minutes, and obviously the stream didn't start until there was about 16 minutes left, because half of it they were just running around trying to find track limits, and a lot of them were spinning. I watched Tiggerby. Obviously it's not on the stream, but he will probably vouch for this, or maybe he will not want to at the end of this. I think I saw him spin at least 2 times on the same lap, if not 3 on the same lap. It's his second race. And I was still getting used to the how these cars work. But I'm intrigued to see what Killer Blue and Ryan do in the race. Their first competitive race in this series, and Mark actually. Haven't seen much of Ryan obviously, and we haven't seen much of Killer because Killer only done that one very slow lap so far. 12 seconds off. I think he spun at the final corner. I think that's what happened to Killer. And Ryan, obviously being disqualified, I haven't seen anything of him. Oh, there we go. There's a representative lap time from Killer Blue. Puts it on pole. The only problem is that was on the soft compound tyres. I mean, for him that's a good start. For a debut, that's a good start. He stuck it on pole in his first race so far. B Morgan. yet to come out on the soft tyres. His yellow flags in sector 2. Wow, okay. They're the only... Tiggerby? Tiggerby has spun. There is a... I just saw... Yeah, there's nice front wing on that that Dams car. The number 6 Dams car. Which has driven at every single race so far. Along with the number 5 Dams car. And along with... What? Who's driven every race? I think B Morgan's done every race. Dan's done every race. Ibo's done every race. And James has done every race. I think those are the... If Sarja makes it, he'll have done... No. They've done every race. If Sarja makes it, he'll have turned up at every round. Along with them 4. I think. James is into the pits. And we've just had confirmation from Sarja. Sarja will not make it tonight. So that is down the window. Down the window, down the bin. That's what it is. Sarja went out about an hour and a half before the race. And we were just seeing if he could get back in time. Unfortunately, he can't. And he continues his streak of having no points this season. The only driver that has driven a race so far and hasn't scored points. Which is something to be proud of, Sarja. Definitely. Yeah, every other driver has scored points so far. Actually, no, Big W didn't score points, but he only did 1 race. LFC, Killer Blue, Ryan B, and Mark have not scored points. But they have not done a race yet. 3 of them will do races tonight. LFC might get a race in tonight. We'll have to wait and see. In his own words, he's stuck on the A14, which I'm not quite sure where that is. But probably Yorkshire. I don't know. And the roads up there are naff. It's oh, LFC is typing in the chat, so I'll just confirm things. Right, LFC has just made it home, people. Right, let's calm down. He's got 3 minutes. He should have invites. Please. Ibo, be a lad. Be a lad, Ibo. Please. We are begging. You should have invites. But, if not, we have always got the legend that is Sir Ibo. That's why he's a knight, you know. He literally stopped his own race to invite others, to make sure others can race. And that is a very good quality to have. But please, Ibo, if you can hear me, invite LFC, please. Nice. Legend. Oh, Mark! That's going to be in the wall. He's not out of the session. But has he set a lap? No. Oh, he has set a lap. Okay, he has set a lap on those soft tyres. So we will start on the softs. And I'm just waiting for the confirmation of... I'm just waiting to see LFC on the screen. Killer Blue's gone into the pits. Is this the end of a lap for B Morgan? Or is this the start of a lap for B Morgan? If it's the start of the lap, we'll go on board. Has he got to the line? No, that's the end of the lap. Wow, 29.6 from B Morgan. Provisional pole. Can anyone mark? Oh, Mark! No, Mark! Illegal blocking of Tiggerby. I think Tiggerby had backed off anyway. Ah, no. Wait, Tiggerby got distracted by Mark. Mark has been given a 5-place grid drop. And basically, if anyone beats him, if anyone overtakes him now, he'll effectively be last. We'll just see if we can get an update from V5. But, you know. Oh, it's came. Oh, okay. Roads around there are still NAF. If anyone doesn't know what NAF means, look it up. That is Dan. Dan was backwards. That is James up to 3rd. Good effort from James. I think B Morgan's still out there, but I don't know if he's still pushing. He could be. Let's have a look. If you didn't know, B Morgan, I think, if my memory serves me right, which I think it does, he's not only smashing it in the F2 as he goes even faster at 29.3, but he won his first F2 race at the weekend, so this could be quite a good bank holiday weekend for B Morgan if he can convert what seems like pole without any more improvement. What seems like pole into the win. We have Ghost coming through the final couple of corners now. I think Dan might have gone in for another lap, so we might have to wait and see. No, right, Ghost into the pits. Dan is going very slowly, so I think that's it. James is the only one still pushing. B Morgan's also backed up, so James is basically the final one on a flying lap to set a time. The other two backed off massively. Ghost in the pits as well. So James on a 30.9 so far. Can he get close enough to knock Killer Blue off second? I think he might be a bit too far off B Morgan. As James, yeah, here he comes. He comes to the line now, round the final corner. Opens the DRS across the line. A 30.3 from James. Got very close to Killer Blue in the end, actually. But we'll have to settle for 3rd on the grid. So the grid will be this man on pole again in the F2 league. B Morgan is his second. He hasn't been on pole. Daka was on pole in the first race. I beg your pardon. Beg your pardon? Beg my pardon. English. The English language confuses me. I give up. But B Morgan is on pole for the first time this season. Killer Blue, on his debut, will start 2nd. Mark qualified 4th, but will drop down to 9th. 8th might be 9th, depending on what happens with the disqualification with Ryan. I don't know. Ghost will be 7th. Ibo will be 8th. Those two can dispute it. And then we should have LFC on the back row. With, nothing from V5 yet. Hopefully we do get something come through. But yeah, it is going to be Mark versus Ibo into turn 1. That will be a fun one. I will tell you that. As we seem to have cloudy conditions, but dry conditions. No rain as of yet in this league. Doesn't want to show its ugly head. Yeah, 10 drivers. No, not a bad number actually. Not a bad number for a bank holiday Monday. I'll take that. At the end of the summer, not a bad number. So thank all of you for actually turning up. The more the merrier, I guess. And if anyone wants to sign up there, and you're in the Discord, there is a sign up page on the Discord. You can sign up as a reserve, and basically a reserve. If there's spaces, you can just race. But if you can't make it, fair enough. So if you have any time on your hand, you can basically race. There is no expectation from me as for a reserve to race. There is an because you put your reserve because you can't make every race. That is fair. But if you can race, great. There's also obviously you can be full time. There are 4 seats available right now, and I'll list them off if anyone wants to join in. There is a seat in the number 7 car in the ART, the number 9 car in the MP Motorsport car, the number 12 in the Arden, and the number 21 of the Shrews right now. Ivor, I know. I did read the comment, tomorrow. I did read your comment, Ivor. I'm just trying to get it out. You know, it'd be nice to have a full grid one day, but 10 drivers in an F2 league. A lot of people don't want to actually race the F2 cars. So it's and Monday's a very difficult day. So 10 drivers, I'll take. B Morgan leading them round. Killer Blue, we'll have to see how Killer Blue does off the start. I don't know if he's ever done a start in these cars, but it could be very interesting to see what he does. And it has put Ryan ahead of Mark. I thought that would. Okay, it did put. Well, no, I thought it might have been the other way. Down, but oh well. Yeah, because Ivor, when you've said it, you said. I would join, but this is the only day when I'm not at football. But oh well. And we have a confirmation from V5 that it will not make it. So this is the 10 we are going to have. We are only going to have these 10 race today, which could make things interesting. A small grid, and we only had 12 last week actually. So it's not terrible. As 19 laps of the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, and B Morgan leads them off pole as 5 lights are out, and we get going. B Morgan a pretty good start again. James got a pretty good start. Killer has bogged down like I thought he would. He's going to be under pressure from Dan into turn 1, but it's James versus B Morgan. James goes round the outside. There is a bit of front wing flying. Oh, and one of the dams is round. That's Tiggerby round at turn 1. Quite a few cars off. That's quite a chaotic start. As Killer going up the inside of James. James is off at turn 3. He's going to have to go wide. And Killer has got the move back on James for P2. Ghost Recon up the inside of Dan. Dan in 5th place. Ryan in 6th. Ibo keeping position. LFC, but Tiggerby, the big loser on that first lap, he went way too deep into turn 1. At the back of Killer Blue, maybe, or James, I'm not sure. I think it was Killer Blue, or maybe his teammate actually. But he is now last. A lot of support for Ibo from Ivor. As we watch LFC. Oh, Ibo is out. Ibo is out of the race. I think that was yes, it was. Turn 9. Ibo unfortunately out of the race on lap 1. The first retirement of the race. And there is no safety car in this heat now. We had a safety car last week, but we can't put the safety car on because we have a 25% distance race in the second race. So you see James literally, it's a rallycross for him maybe. As LFC has spun at the final corner. Tiggerby's got past him. Tiggerby doesn't seem to have all that much damage to the dam's front wing. If we look, I think that might just be the side pod. The commentator's curse is back, apparently. Yeah, you can see someone's front wing's off at turn 1. I don't know, but yeah, Tiggerby is missing a bit of front wing. LFC, I think his front wing is fine. He's in the ART for this race. He won't be on the point standing. He will be in the Shrews. No, he won't be in the Shrews. LFC will be in the Russian time, sorry. He's in the Russian time. Ah, touch the curb on the inside. Actually, no, the outside. It doesn't matter, really. You're spinning off either way. Unlucky, Ibo. Fortunately, that's no points, but and it will be a it won't even be reverse grid pole. We have that many people now. If it was still the 8 people, it would have been reverse grid pole. As Mark's trying to make his way back through the field after after qualifying. He started 9th. He's up to 7th right now. Obviously, Ibo out, LFC spinning, and LFC was behind him anyway. But Tiggerby spinning as well. As Ghost and Ryan battling through the final corner. Ghost gets ahead. Ryan pushing him nearly through that final corner. There's going to be no DRS this time around. But let's go on board with Ryan as he chases Ghost Recon down into turn 1. Who's going to be the latest of the late breakers as they go into the first corner? Ryan can't get it done. Mark tries to get the move on Ryan around the outside of on the inside of turn 2, but he can't do much there. Ryan's going to have a run on Ghost Recon as he drifts out wide, the American in the Prema, the KFC bargain bucket as I like to call it. And Ghost loses out just to Ryan. Ryan is ahead of Ghost as they get to turn 5. Good move from Ryan. And now Mark's still behind them. There's a 5-second gap in front of them. Killer extending his gap to James behind, but not closing down B Morgan. B Morgan, I have to say, is very quick in these cars. As DRS is now activated on this straight. Obviously, these are the first guys to actually open DRS in this race. As Ghost looked for it on the inside of turn 12. No, turn 13, sorry. And Ghost holds it on Mark. Mark might have a run out the chicane here. He's on the hard compound tyres, Mark, actually. We'll actually have a look at the tyre compounds. Everyone is on softs other than Mark. And Mark has got a run on Ghost, but Ghost has the slipstream of Ryan. They might be 3 wide entering turn 1. Ryan's going to get overtaken by Mark here down the inside. Mark sends it on Ghost. Is there going to be contact between the two of them? No contact. Ryan round the outside of Mark. Great move from Ryan. Mark's going to try and hang it round the outside of turn 3. Not really doing much for him there. He's going to be up the inside of Ghost as he knows he can't find the space, and Ryan's back up the inside of Ghost. So after being 7th, after being behind both of them at turn 1, Ryan somehow got back ahead. Mark's in the gravel. Oh, I just saw that coming from a mile back, as I just saw him go miles late on the brake. Oh, what's happened to James? James is out of the race. There is a car parked up on the right hand side. He's gone off. He's tried to put the power down and he's gone into the wall on the right hand side as Ryan goes very wide. Is he going to give Ghost a chance? Ghost switches to the inside. Wow, if he can hold that, that's a worldie of a move. Ryan's going to get the traction. They're sideways. There's a bit of contact. Tiggerby gets past Ryan, and Ryan loses both positions. Ryan a bit sideways, and unfortunately he is lost out. Mark, on those he's still not out of this one. He's still not out of this. Obviously he's spinning off. But he is on the medium compound tyres, so there is every hope for Mark yet to still get out of 8th place. James, unfortunately, is also going to join the no points brigade as Tiggerby, making his way back through the field, is going to get past Ghost up into 4th place. Now, who have we got right now battling for their first ever podiums? Killer, obviously, and I think Dan. Dan has been very unfortunate. His best finish so far, I think, is a 5th place, which I think he's got 2 5th places. I think he got one in the sprint race at Bahrain, and I think he got one in the feature race at Baku. I think he finished 5th both times. He's currently 7th in the championship, so he's doing a pretty good job, pretty consistent, but has had some hiccups along the way. Tiggerby started on pole actually for both races last week. Only picking up 4 points in this feature race. He finished 8th, but he's 4th right now, 11 seconds off the podium, but still not impossible Not seeing him out of this one yet. As we just saw, James, I saw, is pretty comfortable in that third place, and he is crashed. As Mark has made a move on LFC. He's gone a bit wide into turn 11, but I think... No, turn 10, but he'll get away with that one. I did get my corner numbers wrong earlier, but oh well. I'm just going to... I'm going to keep my eye out, hopefully, for anything that happens in the race. But I just want to make sure I can fill in the standings properly, like who's not here and all that. But we have a 3-second penalty for Killer Blue from multiple warnings. Only 3.4 off the leader of the race. And that must have been going wide at turn 3, I would have thought. But still enough of a gap to Dan behind to keep that position as it stands. I cannot spell. That's the only problem. As you can actually see, they are still fairly close. No real close gaps right now. We actually have, I think Mark is closing back up to Ryan. And obviously these two are on different strategies. Ghost has already pit. Ghost was the first to pit. He pit very early. That 5. He's got to go another 14 laps on the medium compound tyres. But Mark! Oh, that was close. Good save, Mark. That was very, very close from Mark there. I thought he was going to lose that into the wall. But he saved it. Nearly did what Ibo did. And carries on his way. On the charge, maybe, for some very good points as it stands. To get classified in this race, driver has to complete lap 17. They have to complete lap 17. And maybe the first sector of lap 18, but I'm going with lap 17 as the soft runners are pitting now. Dan and Tiggerby, who were 3rd and 4th in this race, have pit. Tiggerby was actually very far back from Dan, but they're both pit onto the medium compound tyres, both of them. Ghost and Tiggerby could be closer, as Tiggerby's tyres are just about to go on. I think, yeah, he did change his front wing as well. As Ghost is coming through the final corner. Tiggerby, fairly far up the pit lane. He's going to get to the exit now. How close is it going to be between him and the American? Ghost is a bit further behind, unfortunately. But you can see Tiggerby in there, right in there in front of Ghost. And that's going to be fairly close. He might even be able to get DRS on Tiggerby. But those two actually shared the front row in both races last week. At the start of the race, as you can see, Mark on a charge for Ryan. B Morgan Pitts, the leader of the championship and this race, is in, as is Killer Blue, doing a very good job on his debut. Another debutant we're looking at right now. Mark in 4th position. It's provisional 6th, but he's on the charge for Ryan, and actually he's going to go quite deep into this race and put on the softs and go on a charge. There's yellows in sector 3. That is LFC, who's had a moment at turn 12 maybe, or turn 11, maybe gone off there. He's going to box anyway. His teammate in this race had already put, obviously not teammate, real thing. Dan needs a new teammate actually. Cloudy dropped to reserve. But Dan looking on for what could be his strongest race of the year. There's yellows in sector 1. Mark! No! Mark facing backwards at turn 2. He was on for a very strong result. He was chasing hard, and now he is he's lost an awful lot of time with that spin. Like, Ryan's already come out the pit lane, and Mark is already only at turn 3. He maybe could have cleared Ryan, I don't know, but the gap is now 12 seconds between them. Mark will come out 8th after that spin. Unfortunately, I think, yeah, it's going to be very difficult to make up a lot of that time. Ah, so unlucky. Ah, it was Ghost's front wing at turn 1. Okay, interesting. Who do we have out of this race? We have James. So he's not going to add to his tally of 24 points, unfortunately. And we also have Ibo. Ibo's first retirement he's finished every single race, so I'll give him that. That's a very strong showing from Ibo, but unfortunately out of the race today. There's always a sprint race, Ibo. You like a charge through the field. You and James can charge through the field together. We watch Mark. Still fourth. But yeah, he's about 20 seconds ahead of LFC, but a pit stop takes about 30. Unfortunately for him, there's no real battles going on throughout the field at the moment. Well, let's have a look with a man we haven't really watched this race. The leader, going for what will be... Oh, who's got the fastest lap, actually? He has got the fastest lap. So as it stands, from this race he's getting 27, plus quali, that is 31 points. He would extend his lead to 37 from this race, and there's still the sprint race to go. Obviously you'd start 8th in the sprint race and got to avoid all the chaos, but he's pretty good at doing that, actually. He's won both sprint races so far with the fastest lap. After starting, he started the first sprint race in 7th and the second one in 6th, and he won both. This time maybe going one better as it stands. Killer not out of it, obviously, with that penalty looming over him. He's just got to keep it consistent, maybe try and just keep second. It will put him ahead of Morgan. Obviously, he doesn't want to bog down like he did last time. Morgan sets the fastest lap of the race on these medium compound tyres. As Ryan and Tiggerby... Ryan's made another mistake, I think. I think he spun again. And Tiggerby has got past him, and unless Tiggerby actually legitimately overtook him. Actually legitimately. Are two words that near enough act the same. Don't know why I use them both together. Creativity, maybe. You can tell I'm bored. Bored? No, tired. Wrong. English. I'm tired. This is the least professional I've ever been. And that says a lot. There's Mark now. He has got a bigger gap behind him now. 22. Someone hairpin time or absolutely battering them. There is a hairpin, isn't there? Actually, yeah, there is a hairpin there, so that could work. I don't think we're going to see the absolutely battering them one, because no one's a lap down. We have Ghost actually charging on Ryan here. The debuts have been very mixed. Like, Ryan's has been pretty good, but there's been a few spins. Mark's been pretty good, but also has spun. And Killers has been pretty good for a first time in the league. Pretty good debut for him. As we watch now, Ryan through the final chicane. I don't know. I think this is probably a good time for me to check penalties. I'm not going to do it that way. B Morgan is on the 1 warning as we are on lap 11. Wow. Killer Blue was on 1 warning before lap 6 and now has 4 warnings. Don't know how. Dan is on 2 warnings. Mark is on 1. Tiggerby is on 1. Ryan's on 1. Ghost is on... Well, Ghost has a 5 seconds penalty, but I think that might have been speeding in the pit lane. He is 3. Maybe 1's for contact. LFC has none. James out of the race, and Ibo also out of the race. Mark's the only one yet to pit. And it'll be interesting what he can do. Realistically, he's just got to get into that 8. He's just got to get into 7th. He's got to get past LFC and see what happens from there. He's probably got a big enough gap to come out about 4th, 4 or 5 seconds behind LFC. And I think he might pit now. Now or the next lap. And then he can push on. He'll be the fastest man. I would have thought he'd be the fastest man on the track on softs. So, we'll see. As he comes through the final chicane now. And he does come in. So Mark into the pit lane. This is where it gets interesting. What can Mark do to salvage the race after that spin? I think without the spin he probably could have come back out in 4th. But now, he's got to hope and pray he can get anywhere near LFC as LFC comes through the final couple of corners. He's at the chicane. Mark in his pit box changing his tyres. He's going to come out behind LFC, but how far behind, who knows. As you know, he's right at the end of the pit lane, isn't he? Mark might be right at the end of the pit lane. No, he's not. But LFC goes past, but how far behind will he be? He's not that far behind. It's about 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Maybe 6. Mark, after that spin, that lost him so much time, but it's all a learning curve, obviously, for the reserve. I don't think he's driven these cars in anger properly yet. But he's 6 seconds behind on lap 12 here. Mark has got a real chance to try and get LFC as the leaders come through the final chicane. Mark, obviously, just entering the second sector. He can close that gap. He can close that gap. B Morgan does another fastest lap, a 32.1 on those medium compound of tyres. Mark is absolutely battering them if he can get near them, I reckon. But Killer, the gap between Killer and Morgan is fluctuating right now between about 5.5 and 6.3. But I don't know. B Morgan's line through there is very shallow. Killer Blues. It's very wide, and actually probably gets the most out of the track. Dan falling off a little bit, but he's got a very nice gap behind, 18.6 or 18.5 seconds. He's got a gap in front and gap in behind. He's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but I don't think he'll mind if he finishes where he does. A first podium in the league, and a very good drive, just consistent to get in that position. Not got the pace to maybe keep up with these guys, but got in that position as Ryan has left the session. I think that might have been lag. He was running fine. It's the salvage thing, so I don't know. The good thing for Mark is this is obviously the highest scoring. Spun out the lead. B Morgan has spun. Will he get his car facing the right way? Killer Blue will inherit the lead of the feature races. B Morgan, the championship leader, has spun it out of turn 12. He's got to get back within 3 seconds of Killer Blue. But will his tyres, will he have done enough damage to his tyres to not make that possible? Wow, I did not expect that at all. B Morgan. Yeah, it is actually time for the epic music. He's been so consistent this season. That is the first mistake I've really seen him make. First proper mistake I've seen him make during commentary. He is gaining back to Killer Blue, and he does need to get within 3 seconds, but he just needs to avoid a penalty himself. Speaking of which, absolutely battering them. He has 2 warnings on that lap, I think. Yes, he had 2 warnings on that lap, so he's 1 warning away. And just to confirm, Killer Blue still. That's actually ironic. Because the real version is, can Ben win, or will he bottle it? Well, in our race, Ben has bottled it, but could still win. We'll have to wait and see as we come up to the point where he did make his mistake on the last lap. I was very surprised to just go on board, well, go click on his name and him just sideways. He was so cautious through there this time around because he did not want to spin. And he's back within 3 seconds just about. Killer's been gifted first position on track. But the thing is, he needs B Morgan to get right up behind him and force him to make a mistake. As we watch now, Mark, so much more grip on those softs. He's going to have LFC, surely. As we come onto the back straight here, he's going to have the slipstream. Is he going to go to the outside or the inside? He's going to go to the outside. He's going to try it on the brakes. He's going to go for the switchback. Mark does go for the switchback on LFC. He's not going to get the traction. And LFC just holds it ahead of Mark. Ghost Recon picks up a time penalty. Mark, even if Mark doesn't get past LFC and doesn't get further up the grid, he will still be on the... As it stands, he'll be on provisional pole. If he gets past LFC, he's only second. So it's not horrific for Mark. Obviously, Mark did start 9th after that grid penalty. Would have started a lot higher up and didn't get the best exit out of the final corner. So he's going to be a bit far behind to challenge LFC. Slipstream, obviously not as strong in these cars. He's still gaining. Killer Blue picks up another time penalty. And that is pretty much gone. B Morgan now pretty much has this race in the bag. Is Mark. Very aggressive move into turn 1. Kind of LFC gave him the squeeze. Didn't expect him to be there. And LFC had to back out completely. Mark nearly off the track as well. Might have even been off the track. I'm not entirely sure. But Mark into P7 now. Very cheeky. Oh, cheeky. As yeah, Killer Blue with that other time penalty, that second time penalty. Pretty much, B Morgan now has to get 2 time penalties for Killer Blue to win, and I don't know. These penalties, I mean, they have to be there because we don't have a proper. Every race has a proper steward system, and the game has its own automated one, which is fair. But I mean, it makes it very. I mean, the anticipation is just like, not there anymore. It's not like, oh, I don't know who's got a penalty. We could see after the race, but this guy's going to win. But then you know he's got penalties, so he's not going to win. So, I don't know. It needs to be there, but yeah, I complain about everything, so it's fine. As NFC is already 4 seconds behind Mark. He must have had another moment. Mark trying to close up to Ryan and Ghost, as Ryan's still not in his car. I think he did rejoin the session, but he's still not taking control of his car. I don't know if he can or not. I will have a look. I think it's yeah, no, I think it's very fair if Ryan can't get back in his car that I award him the points for wherever he finishes. I mean, I can't give him points for 6th if Mark overtakes him, but we'll have to wait and see. As B Morgan does pick up a 3-second time penalty, but is that a bit too late for Killer Blue? If he'd have kept that clean and not extended or cut a corner and got that second time penalty, he actually could have won this race. B Morgan, in that 3 seconds that he needs, without a spin, B Morgan should win this race, or without some blistering pace from Killer Blue, B Morgan should have this one. So Mark is now 5 seconds behind Ryan. Hopefully Ryan can join. Right, yeah, he has left and rejoined as LFC has decided to pit. Now, is this a tactical decision to go for fastest lap, do you think? Fastest lap currently still sits with B Morgan. Can Mark get... Oh, can Mark get 5th? He's actually not that far behind. Oh, he's really not that far behind Ghost. There's this lap plus another 2. And the gap between him and Ghost is about 5.5 seconds. The rate Mark is catching, he's not got the fastest lap, but the rate he is catching is phenomenal. LFC has been lapped by the leaders. Ryan's still not in control of his car, but I'm hoping he can join. If he can't join, then that's so unfortunate. But I will give him the points, and he will be able to take control of his car for the second race anyway. Wait, it should let him. as Mark trying to close in on Ghost to maybe sneak 5th. And if Mark sneaks 5th after that spin, hats off to him, because I thought he was going nowhere after that spin. Is B Morgan trying to win it on track? Do we think, with just over a lap to go, they're in the final sector now, on the penultimate lap, is B Morgan going to try and win this race on track and put it to bed and not spin and not get a penalty? We'll have to wait and see, as they're going to come down the pit straight now. He's a bit far behind, I think, to attack on Killer Blue, as LFC in the distance. Dan is some 23 seconds behind these two. Not close enough. B Morgan very late on the brakes into turn 1, a bit wide off the apex. Let's just check the warnings. B Morgan did pick up another penalty after that. No, another warning, sorry. So he needs 2 more warnings for B Morgan, and that's another penalty. I don't want to jinx it. Don't want to. But it looks like he's going to get 31 points from this race and qualifying. 4 points for the pole lap, 2 points for the fastest lap, 25 points for the win. We'll have to wait and see. As Mark does get past Ryan, is he close enough to Ghost? Oh, surely he is. 2.9. It depends on whether Mark has a penalty now, though. As those guys, have they started the final lap? Yes, they have. Right, Mark is on the final lap. B Morgan cannot find a way past Killer Blue. Killer Blue's gonna win it on track, and I think he might take a bit of solace in that, and the fact that he stuck with B Morgan, and when B Morgan did make his mistake, he did capitalise, but unfortunately with the pens, he's gonna lose out. But I think that's a solid race from Killer Blue to cross the line in first. Well, as we have it, we have a Canada moment. Killer Blue's going to cross the line in first position, but B Morgan is going to win the race. Because of penalties, the championship leader takes full points from this race and the quali. And if he gets full points from the sprint race as well, then he might be uncatchable, because the championship contender is gone from 6 points. Dakar has gone from 6 points off first to 37 in this race, as Dan completes the podium. Tiggerby, after a wild first lap where he was backwards at the first turn, is going to finish 4th. Ghost versus Mark to the line. Ghost is going to take first. And I don't know if Mark beat him. As there's the podium with another race win. The first feature race win for B Morgan this season. He's run 2 sprint races, but that's the first feature race win he has had in Spain. Killer Blue finishing 2nd on debut. That's very good from him. And Dan, ever present in the league since the start, has taken his first podium today in the feature race. It does mean for the sprint race, it makes things very interesting, as on the sprint race, LFC will start from pole. Ghost Recon will be 2nd, 3rd, Mark will be 5th, Tiggerby will be 4th, Dan will be 3rd, no, Tiggerby will be 5th, Dan will be 6th, Killer will be 7th, B Morgan will start 8th, James 9th, Ibo 10th. Makes things very interesting for the second race of this evening, as I will just add the points in for everyone. Dan finished on 15, Ghost Recon 6, Tiggerby got 12, LFC got 4, Killer got 18, Ryan got 8, Mark got 10. Points have been added. Standings have not been moved around because I can't do maths. That one to there. Him to there. Him to there. Anyone else? Killer. To there. Mark. To there. Ryan. Goes there. And LFC. So we will have the formation lap. These guys. There we have it. So Dan jumps up to 3rd in the championship after that race. So very good for him. Killer jumped up to 8th after his first race. Ghost is now 9th. Tiggerby now 10th. Actually, that means I'm outside the top 10 now. Mark up to 12th. What else? Ryan's up in 14th now. There we go. Right. So yeah, B Morgan now leads the championship by 37 points. So it's going to be a mission for people to catch him. Can I be bothered to do the team standings? Can I be bothered to do the maths on the team standings? No, I will just leave them till after this race, as we have 7 laps, no pit stops. Don't know whether are they good drivers on the grid? Yes, they are. Here we go. As the lights will start to build up now. LFC starts from pole position. And lights out and away they go for the sprint race, and that was a very bad start from Mark. Killer, someone had to go around the outside and didn't really get the best start. B Morgan is now last. Ghost and LFC are going to go into turn 1 side by side. LFC is going to go around the outside. Will he be able to hold on to P1? I think Ghost is going to have that. That is someone on the wall. That's Dan, I think. In the wall, there's a big incident at turn 1 there. No, it wasn't Dan. It was Ryan. But that is allowed Killer Blue already up to 2nd place. Tiggerby and LFC going side by side. Mark 5th, Dan 6th. But it was James, Ryan and Ibo all caught up in that incident. Only the top 8 score points in this race. And LFC and Dan going to battle. B Morgan still 7th place. So he's gained nothing off the start. Well, I think he gained 1 position off the start. But Killer Blue is now leading this Grand Prix within 2 sectors. Like before the 2nd sector split, he's gone from 7th to 1st. Yeah, Mark up to 3rd. So he actually, I think, had a terrible initial getaway and somehow gained a position. So very good from him. Ryan into the pits. Unfortunately for him, not the best of races, but well, not the best of debuts for him, but you know what, learning curve and all that, bloody bladder, English words. Ghost and LFC made contact on the formation. Ah, that was why LFC was on the... As we have LFC now in the pits, Ibo back into the point paying positions as B Morgan has got past Dan for 4th place. Sorry, I am very distracted right now. This is not help, but Killer Blue is pulling away. Anyway, let's really focusing and things. Dan and Morgan battling all time. Yeah, they have been battling for a very long time. B Morgan now ahead into 4th place. Obviously going to extend his championship lead yet again, no matter what he does. But Killer Blue getting away with this. I think Killer Blue might be very happy with what's going on at NFC. Oh, he's retired. I didn't actually notice he'd retired. I'm sorry for not noticing that. That's a bit stupid. I haven't. But has left the session as well. So unluckily for NFC, he's out. But yeah, here's the battle for 2nd place. Ghost Recon versus Eloy Mark with B Morgan and Dan closing them in all the time. So we'll go on board with Mark now. We're on lap 4. B Morgan's just done the fastest lap of the race. Mark is gaining, but I don't think he's going to be close enough by the braking zone to have a go at Ghost. Looks to the outside, no, nothing doing. As Tiggerby sets the fastest lap of the race. But Mark's still behind Ghost. It is really allowing B Morgan to close up. And one thing you do not want is B Morgan on your gearboxes. Killer Blue now nearly has a 5-second lead. And he just avoids the penalty this time around. He might get away with this one. He might win the race over the line. And keep it this time as Mark goes to the inside on Ghost. Late braking. Is he going to make that? He does make it. Ghost goes for the switchback and also makes that. So great, nearly a great overtake from Mark. Great defending from Ghost as there's yellow flags in sector 2. I don't think that's any of these guys as Mark's going to get overtaken by B Morgan up the inside of the chicane. Mark's going to fight that all the way. B Morgan's going to get squeezed to the outside. There's contact. Mark's lost all 3 positions there because of contact with B Morgan. Wow, that was very sketchy from all 3 of them. As Killer Blue now sets the fastest lap of the race. He's going for all the points. But Ibo has now gone into the pits. That might have been the yellow flags that we saw for Ibo. But Mark is back ahead of Dan now. Mark's back ahead of Dan. Trying to close in on B Morgan to try and nick that final Final podium position. Yellow flags in sector 2. Once again, I hope that's no one in this battle, because this battle has been amazing. I think it might have been Tiggerby. As B. Morgan now right on the back of Ghost. I don't think he's going to be close enough, as Tiggerby has retired from the race. That was turn 7, probably claiming another victim. B. Morgan can't get past Ghost. He's gonna look to the inside of there. That's gonna be very scrappy. This is what happened to Mark last lap. Mark got caught up behind Ghost last lap, and that allowed B. Morgan to have a look at him into the chicane. B. Morgan's right up behind Ghost this time around. I think this could be P2 for B. Morgan as they cross the line to start the penultimate lap for these guys. They're on the penultimate lap. B. Morgan will pull to the outside of Ghost. Very admirable defending by Ghost. And can he hold this? No, he's going to get squeezed a little bit by B. Morgan. Mark's looking to the outside of Ghost. B. Morgan's a bit wide. But all doesn't make it through there. B. Morgan is clear of Ghost now. B. Morgan might get away from Ghost now. Ghost now has Mark to deal with, as well as potential of Dan and James. I've just seen in the background there as well. Oh no, I dropped my controller. But Ibo and Ryan is overtaken. Ibo is... Ghost gets sideways through the exit of turn 10. There's contact with Dan, and Dan's going to be round. Dan is round after contact with... I think James also spun there at the same time as Dan. James also spun. Killer Blue sets another fastest lap. Might be beaten by B. Morgan, I'm not sure, on the final lap. There is one lap left of this race, but Dan has been spun whilst battling Ghost Recon. It was a complete racing incident. Ghost had the space, but Ghost has actually got back ahead of Mark. I don't know what happened to Mark, but Mark was clear of him, and Ghost has managed to get back past Mark. This might be Mark's chance for a podium. He's going to go low out of turn 3. He's not going to get the run on Ghost that he needs, and he's going to have to hold back there in P4. B. Morgan clear in P2. I think this race is all but won at this stage as Mark pulls to the inside of turn 5. Very ambitious move from the reserve driver, but great move indeed by Mark up into P3 with about half a lap to go. Can he hold it? With one DRS straight to go. We'll have to wait and see as they come through turn 9 now. It's going to be very close between these two. Ghost, oh, he's actually quite far back. The gap was a bit bigger than I thought it was. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to go with this man who comes through the final chicane in the sprint race. Second place in the feature on his first full race. And to wrap up his debut round, Killer Blue wins the sprint race in Barcelona. Great points for the team, but importantly, a double podium for him, but he gets nicked to the fastest lap by B. Morgan on the final lap. Mark does take P3 from Ghost. It was so close between those two, less than a tenth between the two of them. Dan 5th after that little incident. James right behind him in 6th, and now we wait for Ryan and Ibo. Going to battle it out for 2 or 1 points. Both of them will score. It's no problem there. But let's see who gets the more points. I think it might be Ryan who's going to take the points between these two as I fill in points for everyone. I will not go through the constructors, but as it stands, B. Morgan's still winning the championship. He's on a very round number, very big number. He's on 100 points. He's the first one to make it to 100 points. No one else has got over 50 yet. Oh no, one other person's got over 50. But he is kind of running away with this championship as Ryan's made a little bit of a mistake for that final chicane. But I think he'll just about get away with it as he crosses the line. in 7th, and Ibo takes 8th place. So Barcelona turned out to be quite an interesting 2 races, with the championship leader still getting more points on the board. Nearly 4 points. If he'd have won the race, he would have got 4 points. But he was 2 points short of completing a clean sweep of everything. Yeah, your podium driver's there. The man on the top step. A return to this league. Killer Blue. Fantastic drive. Won by 9 seconds in a sprint race. The Dams driver, championship leader, in 2nd place, and can I call him a rookie? The other debutant, a fantastic 3rd place. Fantastic for them all, and everyone did a really good job. Everyone. So that has been the round 3 of the F2 Championship. And next week is everyone's famous round. We will kickstart the week of hell for pretty much everyone. As I'm pretty sure... Oh no, I don't think it is. I think... Right, next week we have Monaco. I don't know about the F1 leagues. It might be Monza. I thought it was Monaco, but if not, it's fine. But we have Monaco. And the drivers can get a foot in there and see who survives the war of attrition. But I've been your commentator, RJ, and we'll be back on the streets of Monte Carlo at 7 o'clock next week.